tell me about BeDigital then. What's the story behind BeDigital? How long have you been running it?
Yeah, so it started as a hobby between a mate of mine, like a sort of side hustle, all the way back in 2012. But I had the opportunity, almost by accident, in 2015 to turn it into a full-time gig. I never intended to run my own business. I never thought of that I was entrepreneurial. And I had this opportunity with two businesses who both wanted to work with me at the same time. Neither of them were going to pay the sort of full-time rate that I was expecting or used to at the time. So it was a great opportunity to say, well, I can actually work for both of you. And overnight, I became a consultant.
Yeah.
And I just used the fifth day of my week to be like, oh, I wonder if any other people are interested in my experience and in having me as a consultant. And so, yeah, all of a sudden, I guess I was a business, and we were growing just through referrals. It led me to growing the team, and that, I guess at that point I said, oh, wow, I guess we're an agency. So that's kind of the origins of the business. My background had always been between sales and marketing, and so that's what we were offering services in. But I must say, a lot's changed in 10 years. And so we've evolved as a business in terms of where we stand out in the market or where we can add value. That's kind of something I'm constantly challenging myself and my team on.
Yeah. When you say that a lot's changed in 10 years, what would be the biggest change?
I think it would be the place of particularly social media. So when I started the last corporate job I had the opportunity in 2011 I still remember very clearly, no one was really using social media, certainly not for business. And I was working for a company that dealt in photography. And I said, Facebook is all about photos at this point. Like, surely we can use this. And I clearly remember my manager at the time just saying, Brennan, you've got a budget. I don't care what you do with it if you get the results. So go ahead and do whatever you want. And so I started using Facebook and it worked so perfectly for us. But we had all these original physical touch points. Like, we were at trade shows, we were doing demonstrations at camera stores and things like that. And so what we were doing was sort of just tying those two things together, saying, we can generate the interest for the physical touch point through social media. And then, I guess we evolved into being specialists in how social media worked and how the algorithm worked because we were doing so much in it. Having said that, the biggest change is a lot of people are doing that now and creating content around social media. So when I alluded to before about how do we add value, I guess we've evolved to saying, I believe there's plenty of people out there doing a great job, helping create social media content. We can do that. But more importantly, I think where we can add the most value to a business is, well, what happens after that? How do we or even before and then after that, how do we strategically help you figure out what that content needs to be? And then how do we actually turn that into something that materially supports your business?
Yeah, amazing. And I noticed that you didn't say AI, because mostly when you ask people what's changed in the last 5 years, that's the first thing.
That's what's changed in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. I guess a little bit the same as me. One of the things that I love about technology is it's different every single day I arrive to the office. Yeah. Something new has happened and something new has changed. And if you kind of have that interest in learning and interest in how the world works, it's great. If you just want to get in and do your job how you always done it, it's very frustrating.
Absolutely.
So it definitely takes a certain kind of mindset to be happy about things changing on a regular basis. So what's your take? I guess it's
you alluded to it nicely actually in the intro. My revelation to myself in the last sort of 12 months has been whilst all of the tools and the technology has changed drastically, and it'll continue to change, what I've realized that hasn't changed is, at the end of the day, marketing is about just building a human connection. The tools just give you different abilities or roads or paths to make that connection. But if you very quickly forget that it is about making that connection, then that's where the strategy falls apart. So that's, if anything, I feel like what we're offering now, whilst it maybe changed in the middle of our journey, what we're offering now more closely mirrors back to when we started, which was going back to basics and saying, well, what's the persona type of the people that we're trying to communicate? Let's actually break those down. Let's have very clear messaging that's unique to each. Let's have offers that are unique to each. And the digital tools allow you to do that now, I think, much more quickly, but also build those very specific connections. So, but nothing much has changed. Like back in the day, we still wanted to, when we were creating a magazine ad, we still wanted to be like, well, who's this ad speaking to, and what's the headline that's going to capture their attention? Now we have the benefit of saying, well, if I've got 5 different people, then I can just make 5 different websites.
Yeah.